What's up, everybody? We've got Zac, best physio in Melbourne, running through some exercises that you should be doing.
Yeah.
Right.
So these ones are going to be good. We're going to start hip, low back, and try and, I guess, get a little gauge of where your strength lay or where your weaknesses may lay. And a lot of the times we see these with people who may not be transferring that force really well through their chain. So whether it's when they squat, when they run, the forces that are coming out through the ground, are they able to tolerate them? And do they have any imbalances? So we're going to have a little look at, a little bit of work around your glutes and adductor region, and then we're going to have a look at your tummy and see what it does. So that's okay. Come have a kneel. So we're going to use, you can use a foam roller or a little block. I like to use these, okay? I think they're really good at just, we're going to use them quite high up under our groin, and we're going to bring our knees as close as we can together, and we're going to essentially squeeze that as we're doing this whole exercise. So again, that's a similar thing that we talked about before with time under tension, and we want to load our proximal adductors as we work through range, okay? So we're going to try and keep them engaged, try and provide that stability, and when we progress an exercise like this, we'd go from kneeling position to a lunge position. So, but for now, we're going to try with this. So I want you to pop that one up as high as you can underneath your groin. Bring your knees really close together, good, and then add a squeeze on that. Cool. Now where can you feel that working? Quite high, up around the groin?
Yep.
Nice. So what we're going to do from here is hands on our hips, and we're going to do a kneeling squat. So we're going to take your hips back towards your feet as you hold that position. Yeah, and then we're going to bring you back up. Now, what we're going to add to this to really get those glutes engaged is I want you to imagine that you've got a belt on with a tray of drinks, okay, sitting on your hips. Now, if you go into a lot of anterior pelvic tilt, okay, and arch your back, those drinks will fall on the ground. If you lean back too far, those drinks will spill all over your nice white shirt. So, as we sit back into that hip position, we're squeezing our groin, we're trying to hold that drinks tray up, and then as we come up, we're trying to keep that really balanced. So what you'll feel is your glutes will come on, push you into a little bit of posterior tilt. Ooh, don't forget the squeeze, good. And now you should be feeling this in your proximal groin with the squeeze and your glute tissues as you come back up. Yeah, good, come up. Allow yourself to have a little bit of forward trunk lean too, okay? Don't feel like you have to lean back so much. You can come forward and sit, and then come up into that position. Nice, good. Where are you feeling that?
Everywhere.
Everywhere? So you've done 5, we've got 5 to go. Good. And make sure you drive those hips forward like you're finishing on a deadlift, okay? So tray of drinks, nice and balanced, coming up nice and straight. Good. Whew. And up. Good. Who thought a kneeling squat could be this hard, hey? Oh, it's really good. Nice, 2 to go.
That was 5.
There's always 2 to go. And 1 more. Good, and driving up. Finish off, don't spill the drinks, don't spill the drinks. Good, and have a rest. Nice. So make sure that you maintain that squeeze the whole time there. That's the hardest part. A lot of people will focus on their pelvic control and lose their adductor load. So you've got to keep that squeeze on. All right, and as I said, when you're starting that, bring your knees in as close as you can, so that squeeze really starts to drive that pelvis forward, okay? Good glute workout, good glute activation, good adductor activation, all right, really good start. Okay, next to the one that we're gonna target your low back or your rotational core muscle groups, okay, is gonna be a little bit of a kneeling pull-off, all right? Now, to test this, take the block out. Stay there, stay kneeling. A little test that I'd like to do in the clinic we can use handheld dynos, or you can use weights to kind of get a gauge, whether it be cables, and you can start to add that weight up. can even just use your hand to get a real good quality of that push, okay? But if you go hands out in front, like you're doing a pull-off press, shoulder height, okay? You can interlock your hands so you create a nice little knuckle. What you're gonna do is resist the force that I push through you until you get to a point where either your arms break or your legs give out or your position starts to crumple, okay? Go another mat, perfect, yeah. Nice hard floor.
I'm old.
So what we're trying to get a gauge of here is how much force your rotational aspect can resist. Now with this, there is a little bit of research around for elite athlete populations, below 20% and above is pretty average. Above 30% of your body weight, really good. Okay, so we can get a really good gauge on this. What I find that people who have, in the general population, when I've done this, who have some irritable back soreness or symptoms, they'll generally be below 5 to 10 kilos, okay, in force that they can resist. Already feeling, I think what you were able to push through, upwards of 15 kilos is a really good number, okay?
So if I was 100 kilos and I had a cable in my hand.
Yeah, you want to be going for 20 kilos, is your goal,
Yep.
okay? But I think what we're going to do today is with a band, we're going to start to introduce this as a load and then we'll go from there. So I'll hold that. But yeah, essentially, if you go hand out in front, getting that push, and you can do this as a PT with your patients to get a gauge of from either side. Nice, I actually reckon that's better than your other side. So then I would bring in the band, I'd introduce a little bit of load that we can do. So if you hold that. Now, what I'd get you to start is about 20 degrees either side is the range we're going to start through, okay? Need to maintain your pelvis being square and facing the mirror and your rotation through your chest, okay? Does that make sense? So if we come this way a little bit towards me, that's your starting point, and then you're pulling to the right. Woo, yes. Good. And go. Nice. Now I don't want you to come into lumbar extension, okay? Keep your ribs down. Really good. And keep your hips nice and square. Good. Good. 2 more. Nice work. And where are you feeling that? Yeah, straight across the front there. That's exactly where you want it.
Yep.
So you do 2 sets of 10 of them, either side, plus that little block kneeling squat drill, and you're ready to go. You're ready to lift. Okay, I think they're great activation exercises for the gym or running, okay, where you can just get really good control.
Yeah, nice.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Nice. All right, and then into some shoulder work.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the In Situ Health and Fitness Podcast.
On today's show, you'll have me, Zac, physio in Melbourne, working in sport and private practice, talking about an array of different topics in strength, conditioning, and performance.
Everybody will get something out of this episode, so make sure you hang around and listen all the way through.